y'all, welcome back to FlyafterFifty. No spaces. I'm Fly Dog D and I am back with another video. Y'all, this is my monthly eyeshadow ranking. So I picked out how many? I have 30 total eyeshadow palettes that I am ranking, but there's only 20 slots because I grouped some things together. The bottom few will be getting decluttered. I am using this as a chance to declutter my collection, especially if I use something and it's just okay, or I have it in a Bella color store or something like that. So I figured this would be a good way to go to my collection, you know what I'm saying? Alright y'all, let's go ahead and get to it. Oh, I keep forgetting to remind y'all. Remember, I have 2 Instagram accounts. The pictures and the looks that you're seeing in this video, if you want to see them throughout the month, please follow me on one of my socials. The Meech the Fly Dog, which is that is my eyeshadow diary. That's where I put most of my eyeshadow or eyeshadow related things. And then we also have FlyafterFifty. I put eyeshadows on there too, but I put more. I need to get more into that one. I don't know, maybe I should combine them both, but I have 2. Please follow me on both of them, okay? Alright y'all, on to the video. Okay, this first palette coming in at number 20 is Alter Ego Sahara palette. It is a dupe for Natasha Denona's Biba. And that's what it looks like on the inside. It's a nice warm and with some cool shades. It's very matte heavy because it only has 3 shimmers similar to Natasha Denona. The formula is okay, but the mattes don't blend very well. They don't blend as easy as a palette I'm going to show you later from Alter Ego. So that's why this was coming in number 20 and will be getting decluttered. This next palette is Pixie by Petra. This is their rustic sunset palette, similar to the one palette I just showed you. It's okay, the mattes blend okay, but I never ever reach for this palette. It reminds me of the Sahara actually, with the cool tones and the warm tones, but it's just not anything special, so I will also be decluttering this one. This next palette is by Maybelline. It's their Nudes of New York palette. It is a nice palette. If you're on the market for a drugstore palette, this is a good one, but it's just nothing special to me. I was going to keep it to have something from the drugstore, but I don't really do any comparison or anything on my channel, so why keep it? It's nice, it's okay, but I am going to be decluttering this one. The last one in a decluttering basket is this one coming in at number 17. This is Uma Beauty. This is what she did for Coming to America. This is her Good Morning Zamunda palette. It is very beautiful. You know what? I think I will keep this. I will keep it. I know this top row is a drier formula. This middle row is a more creamier, and this is the creamiest. But I mean, it worked okay. I think I'm gonna keep this. This is a nice color story, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep this one. Alright, next coming in at number 16 are these 2 ColourPop shadows. This one is the Going Coconuts. This is the one that's number 2 in this batch. I don't know what that is flying around in here. They're easy to blend. They're nice formulas. They're going to get you a nice look. They're going to get you a nice look. Nothing really special except it's good for a reasonably priced. This one, the Going Coconuts, is more neutral. The Send Me News is more warm. But I like them both, but I like this Send News just a little bit better. So I will be keeping these 2. My next palette coming in at number 15 is another Alter Ego palette. This is their newest one that I have gotten. This is Mystique. It is a dupe for Natasha Denona Going Local palette. I do not have that one, but I really like this palette. I like the color story. It did perform pretty well, and it does have the different texture in here, like cream to powder. This one has cream to powder, but I like it. I think it's pretty. I will be keeping it. Coming in at number 14 is my last Alter Ego palette. This is Goddess. It is a dupe for Natasha Denona's Gold palette. It's a really good dupe because I have that palette. This is very nice. I love the mattes and the shimmers in here. The mattes are very brown leaning for brown skin. I really like that. If I was going to do anything else, same with the Gold palette, it could use something lighter in it, but that's okay. I really like this palette and we'll be keeping it. Coming in at number 13 is this Adept Cosmetic House of L palette. This is the one that they made as a tribute to the original Superman. This is a very pretty palette. I do love these shimmers, but they are so soft. If you're going somewhere for a long amount of time, you cannot wear this palette because it's going to be creasing up a storm on your eyes. So you definitely got to have some kind of glue or glitter primer or something like that. It's a very pretty palette. I do like it. I can't do much with it by itself, but I do like it. I love the feel of the eyeshadows because, you know, I love creamy eyeshadows. It's just the when it comes to actually putting them on your eyes, they are a bit creamy, bit too creamy. But I love this palette and I will be keeping it. I'm not gonna say that anymore. Everything else, of course, I'm keeping everything else. Coming in at number 12, we have this Beauty Bay palette. This is their 16 color palette for the brights, and I bought this, you know, to help take me out of my comfort zone with using color, but still having some backup neutrals to help me out when it comes to blending. This is a very pretty palette. I was very surprised by the look I did with this and how I used with other palettes. I really do like this palette, and that's why it's coming in at number 12. Coming in at number 11 is the Adept Codaine palette. This is what it looks like. It has 8 mattes and 8 shimmers and 2 mattes. The formula is great. It's just these are not the mattes I would pick to blend out for these shades. Maybe as a addition, but I still need something else to help me blend them out. So that's why this is coming in at number 11. Alright, coming in at number 10, I have these Visi Art palettes. This is the mini koi shimmers, the petite shimmers, that's what it's called, petite shimmers. Let's open her up. And then over here we have Les Marias. That's what that one looks like. Looking at these, this one is all shimmers. That's why it's the least favorite, but it's still good. These are wonderful shimmers. They blend out nicely for one and done shadows, or if you want to add something else to them. This one, I can do a complete look with it. I can go a couple of different ways. I love the shimmers. I love the mattes. It's very nice. I use this by itself, and then I also used it with the koi to blend it out. Very beautiful. Coming in at number 9, I have this Doll 10, the Doll Squad number 3. This is their cool tone palette. I really enjoyed using this palette this month. I really enjoyed using this palette. It's cool tone, which surprised me. The formula is buttery and easy to blend. I also like the dark blue that they have in here instead of blacks. Really pretty shimmers too. Really enjoyed using it. Coming in number 8, I have the Nomad Whistler Snow Lodge palette. I pulled this out this month trying to see. I pulled this out this month because I was considering their Fuji palette, the new one they have out. But I felt like this was good enough for me. I didn't really need that one. That one had some reds in it that I really like. But I wasn't picking that up. I thought this was good enough. I like the color story, the blues, the golds, the greens, the burgundies. It's pretty and creates pretty looks. Next up, coming in at number 7 are these Pat McGrath's quads. I have Eternal Eden. This one is Passion Fleur. And then the third one is Venusian Sunrise. I like them in this order, 3, 2, 1. These two, I mean, they're all nice, but when I use them all, you know, close to each other, I really can tell that these are not the Italian formula like this one is. So that's why they're ranking at the bottom in this set. And also this doesn't go quite dark enough. This one I can do a lot of things with this burgundy because it does build up. And of course this is the perfect neutral eyeshadow palette for me. So that's why they come in this order. They're still beautiful Pat McGrath formula. That's why they're at number 7. It's just you can't really tell if you, like me, I couldn't tell really until I use them back to back to back. So but they're all beautiful and they're all nice eyeshadow palettes that I really like. Alright, coming in number 6, I have this Nabla palette. It's their side by side nude palette. It is a very beautiful neutral color story. It has some warmth and cool tones. Very good. I like the palette. I like the formula. It's a nice size. It's not too small and not too big. It's still good for travel. Very pretty, and I really enjoyed using it. Here we are, coming in number 5. I have Cosmic Beauty's Royal Rose palette. This is the big sister to all the palettes that people have been loving as of late. This is the first one they ever did. I think this is a beautiful palette. It's very vibrant. And it's awesome because with their palettes you can intertwine, you can use them all together if you wanted to. They're not removable, but you can use them all together. I got a pretty look with this. It's a great formula, and it's a good size because it's not overwhelming for me. Really good palette. Okay, next coming in number 4, I have these 2 Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes. This one is the Surge, which comes in at number 2. And then we have Sugar and Grunge, which comes in at number 1. These are beautiful palettes. Let's close it because it's so much. This here, I bought this because I was considering buying their newest palette where they collab with Donnie Darkowitz, but I felt like this was close enough to it that I didn't need to buy it, so I did get this. They're very good. Their formula is on the drier side, but they all perform very nicely. The mattes are buttery. The shimmers are not that flaky, so you don't get a lot of fallout. It is very nice. Now this is the Sugar and Grunge palette. It's a beautiful color story. It's versatile, smooth by the buttery mattes and shimmers. No shifts, but just a really good palette. That's why it's on number 1 in this time block, in this block. That's why it's number 1 in this block. Okay, coming in number 3, I have these Ace Beauty palettes. These are number 2 because I like them equally. And then Palatopoli palette. First, let's talk about these. This is the Aura and Envy palette. They were released at the same time. This one's purplish greenish, and this one is just like greenish, grungier, and that one's just a grungier palette. They are so beautiful. The mattes are great, the shimmers are great. They are too flaky and soft. I love using them. They're very nice. The same goes with Palatopoli, not the game though. Just this palette, very versatile. I loved using it. The mattes, the shimmers, they're both the same at this. It's just that with this, you can do a lot more. Actually, those shades probably in here too. But they're very pretty, so I like them. And that's why they're coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, I have these 2 Mothership palettes. I have 9 and 10. 9 is Utopian Dream. No. 9 and 10. 9 is Utopian Green. It has a corally pull to it. Has some purples in it. It's very great formula, buildable, do pretty looks with the metallics and the mattes. It's good for everyday looks. You can amp it up, and then you can amp it up at nighttime with the special shades. Very nice. And this one is Moonlit Seduction number 10. It's a great color story, great formula. This is when she started changing up her special shades a little bit, which I am in the minority, but I like this type of shades more than these because these are so glittery. But I really love this palette. Very pretty. versatile, makes beautiful looks. I really like using Pat McGrath. Alright, coming in at number 1 are my Natasha Denona palette. She just has a wonderful formula. She doesn't get the color story right every time, but she has a wonderful formula that I love to use. So these are the 3 palettes that I use for this month, and they're in order. 3 is I Need a Nude, 2 is a Glam palette, and 1 is the Bronze palette. Now with the nude palette, beautiful formula, it's just a color story. You got 1 deepening up shade, and you can't do much with this, so that's why it's at number 3. The Glam palette is at number 2. I did rearrange mine, but now that I've started using cool tone palettes, I've come to appreciate them. I won't say I love them, but I have come to appreciate them and think they're nice, so that's why this one is at number 2. And then lastly, the Bronze palette. You know, I love a warm look, but sometimes I always said this one here is too warm. But out of these 3, this is my favorite. And then spoiler alert, I'm going to have a video coming up where I'm comparing the nude, the I Need a Nude, the I Need a Warm, and the Bronze palette, because I believe the warm palette sits great in the middle of both of these, and I'm glad I got it. But anyway, that's going to be coming later. Number 1 is Natasha Denona. These are some great palettes, as you all know. Well, yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you liked it. Let me know if you have any of these eyeshadows and how they perform for you. But y'all, that is it for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like before you go, and if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. We love to have fun over here, and we would love to have y'all. All right, y'all, until I see you in another video, stay fly, sis.